I'll let you go first, CJ. I'm enjoying listening to you.
Great, brother, great, man. I mean, so God is just doing an amazing thing in this season. He's bringing the right people for such a time as this to make this collective impact in our city. So we're, trying to bring together pastors, rappers, cops, white, black, just the city in general for this collective impact to amplify the resource and the work we're doing in the city. Yes, we're seeing doors open up every day. God is opening up all the doors for us. We actually just went into a prison last month with Kurt Franklin, and we did a week-long writing camp there with the inmates, and we actually wrote our last record in a prison with the inmates with Kurt Franklin, and that's the next one we're about to release. And we had the heads of DOCs from all over the country fly in just for that event, and it was actually the largest event in Florida DOC history. So God is definitely doing something new in the prison system just by allowing us to be able to go in there with 60 members of our staff to be able to make this happen. Outside of those worship events in the prisons, we also are implementing programs in there. So we actually have our whole Maverick writing camp in the prison. We have a curriculum for that, as well as a hip-hop program for the inmates where they can learn production, songwriting, engineering, and then they actually can get certified in prison for that recording software, which empowers them. So we're really excited about those programs. And outside of the prison stuff, me and my wife, we actually live right in Bankhead on the west side of Atlanta. We live on Simpson Road, which is the most dangerous street in our city. Me and my wife live right there with 4 young teenage boys that we've been fostering for about 2 years now, and that we disciple. And seen tremendous fruit just by taking them into our home and showing them what a family looks like. They watch me love my wife. They watch me love my newborn baby. They see the dynamic of what a healthy marriage and a healthy household looks like. And it's definitely changing the way they look at life and they look at their future. Outside of the housing program, we have an alternative middle school in the neighborhood as well, especially since COVID. And for public schools, just gangs and violence and all those issues are they're just running havoc in our community in those public schools. So providing a safe place for our kids to learn. We have trauma groups, we have counseling. So we just provide a safe place for them to learn and get an education in the community. We also have a recording studio smack dab in the middle of Bankhead, after-school mentorship programs where we teach the kids how to write, produce, engineer, get those skills, as well as we have fashion design classes, we have coding classes, esports. So really just providing those creative outlets for our kids, the same outlets that me and my brother needed to be able to get to where we're at today. Unfortunately, the inner city communities, they don't always have the same resource and opportunities as other communities. So we go in and we're trying to provide and cultivate those opportunities for them.
That's so inspirational. Yeah, the first time I ever met you, which was, over a video conference call, I left that call so inspired because your outlook on life and just knowing some of the pain and the trauma that you've experienced in your life, and yet you're the most positive person. And it shows in everything that you do. So, well,
to Mr. Moody's point, or to David's point, David Moody's point, honestly, if it's not for faith in Christ and having that rock in your life, I mean, without a support system, without your faith, without believing in something that's bigger than you, it's almost impossible to overcome this kind of neglect and trauma. So, putting your trust in the Lord and putting your trust in His plans for you, that's what really propels you into be able to take on this kind of weight.
That's awesome. That's awesome.